I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I am a smart, special, valuable person. I respect myself and I respect others. My words and actions are kind and honest. I accept only my best in all I do. I am proud to be me.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday, April 27, 2016. There are no birthdays to celebrate today, and there's pizza in the cafeteria. There's First Communion practice at 6:30 to 7:45 at the church. The box tops are also due today. Today is National Prime Rib Day, and the animal of the day is a monarch butterfly. Have a joyful day.
Medically speaking, starvation occurs when a body doesn't get enough calories and nutrients. Whether brought on by poverty, famine, being lost at sea, voluntary hunger strikes, or medical conditions, the physiology of starvation follows the same process no matter the cause. And it really is a process. It takes time to starve to death. Without oxygen, our bodies shut down in 5 or 10 minutes. Without water, we can last maybe a couple days, a week at most. But depending on the circumstances, a person might go as long as 2 months without any food at all. During this time, the body passes through 3 distinct metabolic phases as it desperately tries to stay alive until it finds food again. Phase 1 is where your body picks the lowest hanging fruit, energy-wise, through glucose burning. In your normal, well-fed state, your body breaks down glycogen molecules to produce glucose, the friendly carbohydrate that keeps your cells well-fed and functioning. The average person can typically go about 6 hours after feeding in the glucose-burning phase before they start feeling hungry and probably grumpy. At that point, your body has burned through all that lunchtime glucose and is turning toward fatty acids, the building blocks of fat molecules stored in your tissues to fuel itself. This switch kicks off the first big metabolic shift as your body enters phase 2 of starvation, fat burning. The fat burning phase can last from days to weeks. During this stage, called ketosis, our livers metabolize fatty acids into smaller fat chain derivatives called ketone bodies. They replace glucose as the main energy source. These compounds come in 3 different water-soluble configurations that move from the liver to the heart, brain, and other tissues during periods of fasting to try to keep things going. Some people, like hard-training triathletes or bodybuilders or those on a super low-carb, high-protein diet, may be in ketosis pretty often. It doesn't mean they're starving, it just means that their bodies are running differently because either they're not eating enough carbs from which to get glucose or they're quickly burning through them. But if you're thinking that eating butter-covered bacon to burn body fat sounds like a good deal, you should know your brain might be less than amused. Your brain can't directly use those fatty acids as fuel because they're too big to squeeze through the blood-brain barrier. And our brains are a big energy suck. They demand about 25% of our stored energy to function properly. They're kind of greedy like that, needing about 120 grams of glucose a day to stay happy. That's like 3 cans of Coke. It's like 4 cans of Coke if one of them's diet. So in your first day or 2 without food, while the rest of your body starts fueling itself on fatty acids, the brain drains the last bit of stored glucose until it really runs out. But you probably noticed that no one dies after just 2 days without food. That wouldn't make very much evolutionary sense. Luckily, your brain is smart and it has a backup plan. Within a few days of no food, your brain recalibrates its glucose requirement from 120 grams to about 30 grams, and it changes the menu. The brain now starts eating those processed ketone bodies, which, because they're smaller than fatty acids, can get through the blood-brain barrier. This is a great evolutionary trick to keep us alert enough, no matter how hungry we are, to continue to look for food. But even, I hope, really appreciate everything we eat, at least for this one day. Thank you for watching this episode of SciShow. If you have any questions or comments or ideas for us, we're in the comments and on Facebook and Twitter. And if you want to keep getting smarter with us here at SciShow, you can go to youtube.com/SciShow and subscribe.